Hello everybody, welcome to my new video. Today is pretty grim. We are starting MECQ once again in the Philippines because of the rising cases of COVID. It is a huge issue because there is such a huge gap in wealth and you have a lot of people that are really taking a huge plunge and are suffering. But I just want to stand up for all the people that I get messages from and say that I think the government should take more action. Be responsible for your people, prioritize, do what is good for your nation, because right now a lot of people are suffering. You should look out for all the people that are jobless, that need food, that do not have the resources to purchase all the things that they need, the essential goods that they need, and take care of them, because this is not it. This is not what we should be doing. But anyways, in line with all the unfortunate things happening, I feel like it is my duty to help you guys be more aware and conscious about the actions that you are taking just in your homes. Today, I wanted to focus on the waste that you are contributing and how that affects our planet. I want to make it as fun as possible and not sound as serious, so this is going to be as serious as I get in this video. So today, I'm going to talk about how you can eliminate your food waste. Now, food waste is really smelly, okay? It's gross. If you mix it with all the other trash that you have, it's just going to end up in the landfills, and it's also going to take years and years to deteriorate. You can do your part by kind of minimizing that time and also figure out ways to compost your own food waste, also ensuring that all the things that you are throwing out are being properly disposed. I want to emphasize how important that is, because right now we are looking at a pandemic. We are looking at reasons why pandemic has been caused, and one of them is our wastefulness. I am also learning about all these different methods. I'm also getting better, but I'm not perfect. So what I'm trying to do is just to encourage people to take the step. And I don't want to discourage anyone to be like, oh, you're doing it wrong. I don't want to point out things that they're doing wrong. I think that we should work together to do better. And one of them starts with something at home. I'm going to be showing you 3 different things that you can do to eliminate the food waste at home, starting from the very basic, if you live in a small apartment, to something big. Okay, let's get started. All right, the first thing I want to talk about is vermicomposting. I'm not even sure. Vermicomposting, which is composting with worms. One of the companies is called Kubo. They prepare like starter packs for you to start vermicomposting. They offer the African night crawlers, which is the type that kind of eats all the litter, the waste that you have. It's not your regular earthworms, it's actually African night crawlers. This is perfect, the sound of nature. So I have purchased 2 because I'm just practicing right now. They offer you the box and a little net cover so that you can prevent any other rats or other things from getting in. It's been effective so far. They give you the soil, the African night crawlers, the box, toolkit that will allow you to figure out how to start. You have to read through it, but it's very simple to understand. What it does is it takes your food waste, and what you do is you bury it on one side, and your African night crawlers will basically eat it up. And your food waste will become worm poop, and you can use that soil for all plants. And if you are starting to be a plant person, this is also especially good so that your plants will thrive and grow to be stronger. Yes, that is a thing. Another thing they don't take in is cooking oil or any type of meat. Like I only put little amount of food the first time, and now I put a bigger load because I want to make sure that I'm doing it correctly. At the beginning, my African night crawlers did escape and they dried out. It's totally normal. And also you might see maggots in the process of this all. I just put food in yesterday, so I'm waiting for them to eat the waste that I produce. And you have to wait for 10 days for them to completely finish everything. Another thing about this is you need to make sure that you are in a shaded environment and there is proper ventilation. So if you live in an apartment, you don't want to put it under the sink. You don't want to put it in a dark area. You want to make sure that there is enough air, and that means that if you have an apartment balcony, that's where it should go. It should be shaded. You are creating an environment for them to kind of thrive. So that is what vermicomposting is. Sorry for the people that I am not pronouncing this properly. Peace. And it's a great way for you to figure out where your food waste is going rather than straight to the trash. It's a very natural process, and I do think that it's a good way and good start at this all. So check out Kubo because they really offer a nice starter kit and make it super easy for you to start. So that is it for the first part of composting. Over here we have the Homebiogas. This is something that I purchased about 2 years ago. Basically, this is one of the bigger devices and more costly devices, but I thought it was really interesting because what it does is that it converts your food waste into gas. So later I will show you how the system works. But the food that it does not take in include meat bones and any type of leaves or soil, but this is pretty cool. First thing you need to do when you get the Homebiogas is that you need to get like a bunch of animal poop. Okay, so if you've seen my old video, I went to a club and I got a bunch of horse manure and I put it in, and then you have to wait about 2 weeks for the thing to inflate and get started, and then you can start putting in your food waste. It is a process, it is something that takes a lot longer, but it can take in a lot of food. So if you are someone that lives in a house, you have a big household, this can take in a lot of damage. Basically, the entryway is over here. You put in all your food waste here, and then it will feed it into the body. Over here are a bunch of sandbags, and this is the air, the methane that it collects for your gas. And then over here after, it converts it into fertilizer. So you have the gas and then you have the fertilizer, great for soil. I would suggest and recommend that this is for people who have big households, who have houses, they have an area. It needs open sunlight in order for it to convert all that energy, and then you can use it for cooking gas. So I will show you how it works. Okay, so over here is the little pot that it comes with. This is actually a new one that I had to purchase because the other one already broke after 2 years. But basically it is a cooking gas stove, and there's a little hose that will convert that methane into gas. So here we go. And yeah, it's just like regular cooking, and you can cook all your stuff for about maximum of 3 to 4 hours, depending on how big that inflates. All right, the last one I wanted to talk about is Bokashi. This is really great for people who have apartments, I guess, because you can pretty much put any type of food waste in there, and all you need is this tub and bran. Okay, that's the thing that activates the food waste. And also you can collect fertilizer from the juices that come out, like kombucha. You know, when it's fertilized and all of that, that is exactly what it is. So pretty much what I'm going to explain to you is that Bokashi is pretty much a tub that will compost and decompose all the food waste or any type of waste that you have into this tub. You pretty much keep gathering all the food waste. The recommended thing is actually anytime you have any leftovers is that you put it in a separate fridge, leave it, and then after you have collected enough, then you start putting it into the tub. But we don't really have a fridge accommodated for that, so what we do is make sure that in order to limit the amount of air that gets exposed into it, we are constantly making sure that we limit the amount of time that we put the food waste. And it shouldn't smell so bad because it's supposed to smell fermented, because you are kind of fermenting the food waste. Leave it in for 2 weeks, and sometimes what you could do is after you have done that, there are companies that actually pick it up for you. This is from Greenspace. This is something that someone from my barangay recommended to me, and I got 2 of these because you can pretty much put anything. And then we have a garden, so you can, after the 2 weeks, we dig up a hole, we put all the food waste, and then it will make the soil magical because it's rich in nutrients now. Another thing you can do is every time after maybe like a couple of days, you can take out some of the juices, add some water, and it'll act as fertilizer for your soil. So I really think that it's great if you are starting to have a hobby of owning plant babies and you don't just want to put water, but you want to make sure that it's rich in nutrients. Also a great way of not just disposing your food waste. And make sure that you are storing it in a cool, dark environment. That's where the magic happens. So that is pretty much it. And you can look up the website or Facebook page that I'm going to link in the description box down below so that you can read up more about it. All right, guys, so those are 3 different ways in which you can compost your food waste. This is just in particular to food waste. Those are 3 drastic different ways of doing it. If you are starting out and are interested, I think vermicomposting is a good way to start. And then if you want to go into more crazier stuff, Bokashi, and then later on, Homebiogas, if you have a space big enough for that. But I really think the important thing to remember is that we shouldn't be criticizing those who don't or shaming people that do not do it, but more of encouraging people to take the action or take the step into becoming more aware about the things that they are doing, the footprint that they are making in this planet. So really be more conscious, be more aware about what you are doing, and maybe take some action. And that is it for today. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I know it's a little bit boring, but I do want to encourage everyone to take that step, and hopefully this was interesting. I'll see you next time.